I think there's something you should know about me. I just happen to...
Outstanding. Let's go bowling. Wow!
Hey Aussie gamers and honorary Aussie gamers from around the world, welcome to episode 96. Today is Monday the 21st of September 2015 and you're listening to the Aussie Gamers Express podcast, the podcast that makes its own luck. I am your host LewkOne and joining me as usual is my good friend Thorncliff. How are ya?
I'm very good.
Awesome. Also joining us this week is our other great friend Red. How are you?
I'm actually really, really good, man. Like, not that I'm not normally really good when it comes to putting on a show with you guys, but fucking a lot of people out there probably don't know it. We're doing it early in the morning, and I'm feeling fresh as a daisy. So, yeah, fantastic. Thanks for asking.
By early in the morning, it is 10 a.m.
Yeah, early.
Not exactly sparrow fart or anything like that.
I don't know, I did shit in the bed to make sure I got out.
Well, you're not used to the crack of dawn, it's just your bum crack.
That's right.
Alright, before we start, here's this week's show in preview. First up, we'll go into Game Talk. After that, we'll cover this week's news, which is only going to be a couple of days because it's been a real short turnaround due to availabilities. But in this week's news, we will be covering PlayStation VR pricing, a new Resident Evil game, free Drive Club tracks, Konami packs up, Rocket League DLC details, and something else that Sean told me about that I haven't written down. After that, we'll go into What's That Sound, then Gaming University, and this week you're going to be schooled on the scariest game known to man. Dead Space.
Okay.
Nah, it's Dead Space. It's an awesome, really good series. I like that game. Anyway, after Gaming University, Red's going to give us a shout and then we'll close the show for another week. And first up in Game Talk, Red's going to tell us about what he's been playing over the weekend.
Well, only one thing, in all honesty. No prizes for guessing. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid, The Phantom Pain. I can't help it. So, I'm currently at 90 hours with 59% completion. Got plenty of tricks now. Because basically we've talked about, well, in last week's show, that once you finish level 31, you move on to chapter 2, but after then you can use your R&D team to develop some really funky shit. So I've just been having a whole lot of fun with it, and not much more to report other than that. I'm sorry, man. Oh, except for Words with Friends. We played some online Scrabble action over the weekend, and
that was on my day off.
Yes.
It wasn't all day during work.
Yeah, so we played some Words with Friends with you and Nick, and I think I got a word that was worth about 20 points, and I get this message, "Shit, you're not bad at this for a Tasmanian." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, man."
And then what did I get? Stoked. Was that you?
Stoked. No, you got stoked for like 68 points. I'm like, fuck.
And then I'm like, what the hell is stoked? But the game actually gives you definitions.
Yeah. Can you use the dirty QI, the QI, whatever it is?
Yeah, what is that? I don't even know what that word is.
Nah,
it works.
Fuck knows. But yeah, so I've had a couple of early nights, actually, in all honesty. I've been trying to lose a bit of weight because I'm sick of being too fat. I just want to be fat. So getting up a bit earlier and exercising with the kids and the puppies put me to bed early, so I haven't played too much over the weekend, except for probably about 10 hours, 15 hours of Metal Gear. I think I'm going to do all the side quests. I'm just over 50% of those. I'm going to finish the main missions, do a couple of little things in the trophy list, and then I'm going to put it down. I reckon I'm probably in my last week of the Phantom Pain until online comes out, MGO. So
nice. Hey, you know what you should use as a yardstick for too fat? You're too fat if your arms can't reach around your gut far enough to hold a controller.
fair cool.
If you have to lift your arms up to your chest
and put them on the shelf
and rest it on top, that's probably too fat.
Fuck, get the donuts then.
You got some room to move, have you?
Yeah, I'm good to go. Yeah, we've got wriggle room.
Or if you've got to start putting your arms behind your back.
That's all right. I've been known to play Guitar Hero behind my back and behind my head.
Should hear about the stories I do behind your back. Oh!
Whoa, zing! Moving on.
Yeah. Anything else for you to talk about?
Nah, mate, that's it.
That's
Just
it? That's you
short
done?
and simple, like me.
All right, Sean, speaking of simple, tell us about your week.
My weekend was working, so not much at all. I put on the Ground Zeroes because I've never played it. So I put on that and was just playing through it a bit, and I got a decent way through the first level, just kind of sniping them out.
Finish it?
Because
It takes 20 minutes!
I cracked the shits. Because I was going really good, and then everyone started coming out because I went loud, and yeah.
Oh, that happened
And
to
then
me.
I just put on the Phantom Pain instead. So
I played that last night, Ground Zeroes, and I got all the way to the end where I was rescuing Paz, and I was carrying her out, and I couldn't be bothered to put her down so I could like take out some guys. So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to Forrest Gump this shit and just legged it. And ran all the way to the pickup point.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've done that in Phantom Pain, though.
Yeah, just legged it because you couldn't be bothered putting the body down.
Yeah, legged it under fire.
Yeah, and there's no Fulton in Ground Zero, so it's taken to the chopper only. But so you didn't finish it?
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm going to do probably tomorrow. I'll play through it.
Wow, were you like really tired when you were playing it?
Yes, extremely.
Because I think I played it last night, and I reckon it's probably... Like, I rescued everyone, so it took me a little bit longer than normal, but if you just do the... Like, if you just rescue Chico, which is the young little boy, who has his headphones plugged into his chest, because that's like all the cool happening kids were doing back in the 70s, and rescue Paz, that's it. You're done, I think. That's all you need to do is get both of them out, and that's end game. And then it unlocks a whole shitload of side ops that you can do, and all the hard modes and stuff like that. But yeah, I played it again last night, and it has the new feature on it now. You can upload your save game, which you can then import into the Phantom Pain. I'm not sure exactly what it does.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, I know that there are certain things that it does do, but I think you've got to do certain things in Ground Zeroes first. Like, if you rescue Hideo Kojima in Ground Zeroes and upload your game into the Phantom Pain, he appears a bit sooner in your Phantom Pain playthrough. The mission to rescue him again.
Oh, 112, yeah.
Whereas it'll appear anyway if you don't do that, but I think it just takes a little bit longer before you get up to it in the Phantom Pain. So there's a couple of things like that. You can also unlock like the original Snake skin, so you'll be all like pixelated and stuff in Ground Zeroes, and bring that across into the Phantom Pain, stuff like that. But I think most of that stuff you can do anyway in the Phantom Pain. It probably just takes a bit longer.
Interesting.
Be a good game. Yeah, Sean, I recommend playing it, and play the storyline. Just do the main objectives. Watch the actual cutscenes and read the timeline. At the end of the game, it'll bring up what looks like end credits, but it's actually a timeline of what's happened.
Oh, okay.
So for people that don't really know what's gone on in the Metal Gear Solid world, it has a chronological timeline. So it'll say like 1972, this happened. 1981, this happened. All the way up to 2004 or whatever it was when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. No, well, Metal Gear, that was a bit later than that, but whatever, you get my point. And it actually shows you, and Phantom Pain does the exact same thing as well. It'll give you a mad timeline, so you got to read it, but it's just like 1 or 2 lines per thing, and it's like a little
because
summary.
that's what happened with the well, I think it was about 6 missions in Afghanistan, where you finish like the first half of Afghanistan, and you go inside like the tomb kind of area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you come out of there and there's the dude with the hat and like the cowboy hat thing.
Skullface.
Yeah, and I'm like, I've got no idea who that guy is and what he's doing here. So, and then I played the first part of Ground Zeroes. And I kind of went, oh, that's who he is.
Yeah.
And reread your review thing that you put up with your timeline on www.aussiegamersexpress.com with your Metal Gear Solid 5 with your timeline of what was going on and all that kind of stuff, and that kind of helped me understand a bit more as well. So,
is that Red's one or my one you're talking about?
No,
your one.
Oh, I thought you said Red's thing.
No, I read.
Yes, of course. That's
I read you, Luke.
Yeah. Good old English language there with the same fucking word. Different meanings and shit. All right, cool.
And I got my Vita working again.
Oh, you plugged it in. You plugged it in, charged it.
I plugged it in.
Yeah.
It started charging again.
Get out of here.
That stupid thing.
That's weird how they need battery power to turn on. Those crazy
but
little
it wasn't
gizmos.
working before.
Because the battery was flat, you idiot. If they go flat,
working when you plugged it in.
Yes, dude, listen to me. If they go flat, like actually turn off because you haven't used it in a while, it takes probably a good 30 to 60 minutes before it actually reacts to any power that you've plugged in. Did you know that?
Loosening up the joints.
No, well, it's because it's that flat. It won't do anything until it's got an X amount of battery percentage. It happens to me all the time after having not played it in ages. I'll go to turn it on and it's dead, and I'll plug it in and it'll do absolutely nothing, like it's broken. But you just leave it plugged in, and after about an hour or so, the charge lights turn on, and you can switch it on, and it'll charge. It's probably the same. Yeah, good one, Red.
Sorry.
It's probably the same as just about every other electrical device that has a battery.
Yeah, but it was weird though because it wasn't happening like that there. And then I plugged it in the other day, just thought, I'll give it a go again. I plugged it in the other day, and then the charge lights came straight on.
Wow. It's like magic. You
it's probably dried out though.
From all the tears.
Didn't you have liquid spilt on it? Yeah, it's probably dried out.
Yeah, it's probably dried out and all good to go again.
But didn't you get it working after that time?
I did, but then it'd charge sometimes and it wouldn't charge others. And
sounds like a problem my old man had with a laptop. Someone spilled a beer on their keyboard, and Dad had got it working through the charger, but then had to replace the battery because it wouldn't hold charge.
Yeah, see, mine only charges sometimes and not the other as well. So basically, like when I plug it in, it charges, and then when I unplug it, it doesn't.
You're fucking smart ass.
I'm just being a smart ass now.
Then it doesn't really matter anyway because they're not fucking developing anything.
There's nothing really worth playing on it anymore.
They're porting over everything with a 15 Metacritic score.
Yeah, that's essentially all they're doing, so it's a bit of a shame. Anyway, Vita stuff. Anything
What have
else?
you been playing, Luke?
Me, with myself. No, okay, so Ground Zeroes was cool. I gave that a go last night. I guess most to note, yesterday I went and picked up Super Mario Maker. That is awesome on the Wii U. I really enjoyed playing that. First put it in, and it's just really intuitive and really easy to start playing and making your own levels. And the way it works is it only gives you a very limited palette of the things that you can use, and then as you use them and you get a little bit more confident, the game sort of works out, you've done X amount now, and a little car will drive in, or a delivery truck if you will, and it delivers more items for you to put down into the into your level, and it works on a 9-day cycle. So on day one they'll deliver you extra goodies, and then on the second day that you're playing it, so it works on the inbuilt calendar of the Wii U, so you can trick it by putting your calendar forward. But so it slowly trickle feeds you the resources that you need and shows you how to use them as you're going, rather than throwing you straight in and going, right, this is how you use everything, and it's a bit overwhelming. So it's actually quite good the way they've worked that out. So that's fun and easy to use. So I've already made probably about 6 levels, and they're obviously progressively getting a lot more intricate and trickier to play. It's good. And I've uploaded them onto the internet as well, so other people can download my levels and play them. I've had one person play one of my levels already. I think they had about 6 attempts at it and finished it, which was pretty cool. So it's good fun to play. And then on top of making your own Mario games, there's a whole bunch of challenges. So it's got, I think it's called a 10 Mario challenge. So you'll get between, depending on the difficulty setting that you choose, it'll give you between 8 and 12 Mario levels that are just like made using Mario Maker, and you've got to get through them without losing all your 10 lives, otherwise you fail. And it's like you get like rewards for doing it as well, so that'll unlock things as well.
Cool.
On top of that, you can also, like any game that has a level creator, the world is your oyster. There's already thousands of Mario levels for me to play. So it's
How good is that?
Yeah, it's just basically DLC for free forever, continually being added to the pile. And I bought the one that came with the amiibo, so I got the retro Super Mario Brother. So it's all the pixelated 3D amiibo, which looks really cool. And what the amiibos will do when you're making a level, if you put the amiibo on the reader, it will pop in a special item into the game that'll be relevant to the amiibo that you've used, and the Mario one that came with it will drop in a massive mushroom. So if you pick up that massive mushroom during the game, it'll turn you into a giant Mario, and you can just walk through bricks and smash them, and you're like really huge. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm basically...
Has that added any incentive for you to get more amiibos?
Yes, because...
Job done.
Yeah, because you can... Absolutely, you can get Link, and if you swipe Link on it, you play as Link.
Oh, no way.
You know, stuff like that. It's cool. And look, at the moment, all I've got unlocked to make the worlds is the original Super Mario Brothers, like the pixelated sort of NES version, and the new Super Mario Brothers Wii U, or whatever it's called. I got that style graphics, but eventually you'll unlock every single 2D version of the game. So you'll have Mario Brothers 2, 3. I can't even think of the other ones, but all of the Mario graphics and designs and all that sort of stuff will eventually be available. It's just the 3D ones that aren't in there for obvious reasons. But look, I totally recommend it. I managed to pick up the special edition that came with an art book, the game, and the amiibo for $79. So that was pretty neat.
That's well reasonable.
Yeah, that's essentially a $120 special edition for any other game, really, for $80. So that's probably $40 cheaper than most
we played
games
The Price is Right
stuff
last night. Tried to guess the download size for the digital.
Yeah, do you want to have a guess? Sean, because Red, you know now.
Yeah,
No idea.
Well, yeah, I know, but come on, have a go.
that's why it's called a guess.
10 gig.
Whoa! Can I have a guess?
You can't have a guess. You know the answer.
1.455.
You know what, Red? That's pretty much it to the nearest megabyte. Well done.
Yeah, 1.4 gig, Sean, for that whole game.
Under 1.5. That's pretty cool.
Crazy. Well, you can almost see it, because we were guessing last night, and we were pretty much on the money with our thought process, but it was just, crazy, because I've seen a lot of this Mario Maker and IGN and Boogie 2988 and all that sort of stuff. I've been watching it, and what it can offer you for 1.4 gig, it's just, unbelievable.
Yeah, so it works really well.
But then again, thinking about it, the original game was it 256K?
Yeah, there's not really much to it. It's all 2D stuff. I mean, the Wii U versions are a little bit rendered and rounded off and stuff, but essentially they're still just 2D sprites, so it's not going to take up a lot of room. But I well do recommend that for any Mario fan that has a Wii U. Grab it and challenge your mates. That's what I'm looking forward to, putting together a whole bunch of levels.
I'll tell you what, I'll have a go next week. What do you reckon?
Yeah, and making you blokes have a go and see how you pan out. Some of them are tricky.
See how we fail.
Tricky, but not impossible. And you'd be able to do it with a bit of... You'll die a few times, but you'll get there.
Yep.
Also, I played Destiny without the Taken King.
The mistaken king.
I fell asleep while I was playing it.
Those fucking doorways.
And I woke up, and in my sleep I'd managed to finish the level. I seriously woke up and I was on the game end screen where it gave me no rewards because I'd done the same thing a million times already. And I've got no idea how.
It's like those people going for a micro sleep and being able to navigate 4 or 5 corners while driving because they're used to driving that path.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But you know what happened though? The game, once I reinstalled it and booted it up again, the game doesn't realise that I've already played. Like it started again. Like the first, let's just say the very first mission in the game. It went like told me to go through all that again. It sent me to the postmaster, sent me to the weaponsmith. It sent me to all the tutorial bits. I'm like, why am I doing all this? And it gave me all the level 1 gear and stuff. It was like, I don't want that. That's garbage. And I don't know, it dawned on me that it didn't recognise that I'd already played the game. It's kind of strange. They must have reset that sort of side of it.
Well, as I said last night, you got to redo it all again and get the story again because now they've added a story.
Yeah, but does that add on to it, or is it added in the middle?
No, it'd be added on. It'd be progressive. I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they have changed a lot. But they have, as we talked about last week in the news, they really have removed a lot of the bits and pieces. I wanted to do level 20 strikes. Level. What were the highest strikes that we could do before?
30. They had 30 and then 34s, but the very original ones was 28.
The highest you can do now, if you don't have the Taken King, is 20. Level 20 strike list. That's it.
So there's no challenge in that.
Yeah, and if you have to do the strike playlist, because if you just select the strike, the highest you can pick is level 8.
That fucking annoys me, man.
So there was no point in me playing it, because what's the point in a level 32 character playing a level 20 strike? You don't get anything. The amount of XP that you get is minimal, and there's no rewards at the end because you've already got them and your level's too high.
Yep.
So it was pointless. So unless you're going to fork out your $70, it's probably not worth playing. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for them to drop the price down if they ever do. If they get it down to a reasonable price, $20-$30, I'll probably pick it up then. Or if
it's like you have to buy that to justify your initial purchase of Destiny in the first place.
But be warned. Sorry, keep going.
I just say I fucking hate this. I know I've ranted and raved about it last week and to you over the weekend, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But I think it's bullshit.
I was in a video game store yesterday when I was picking up Super Mario Maker, and I overheard the guy behind the counter talking to a person who'd just taken the Taken King disc version up to the counter, and he said, "I just want to warn you that you can't return this item." And at first I thought it's because they're sick of getting inundated with the returns, because it's shit. But you can't return it because the Taken King is a download code in the case. Okay. It's not on the disc. So, essentially, if you buy the Taken King on disc, you're buying Destiny with the DLC code inside. So that's why you can't return it, because.
I wonder if you buy the Taken King disc version, do you have to still do that 17 gig update?
Yes, you do. 100%. Yep.
What's the fucking point? So they're reselling your Destiny.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Fuckers!
Yes.
That's what I was... I'd actually traded in Destiny last week when I went to get my Metal Gear Solid 5. So
did you?
That's probably the best thing to do, that if you do actually have Destiny and you want the Taken King, take your copy of Destiny in
and trade it
in towards the Taken King.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. How much did you get for it?
$20-something, $24.
They charged an extra $44.
That's pretty good, actually. Getting 20 for it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You get the Taken King for $30 with a big EB World card.
Yeah, no, that's not too bad. Anyway, I've been making games this week because on the same sort of vein as Super Mario Maker, I had a hand at RPG Maker on PC. I bought that from Bundle Stars, I think it is. It's essentially like Humble Bundle, but it's a different one. I put that and installed that on Steam and had a go at that. The only thing is, wow, that's really fucking hard. Super Mario Maker is nice and simple and easy to make, and I kind of thought this game would be simple too, where you just got to put things down and then you right-click maybe and select what you want it to do. No, it's nothing like that, and it's shit. There won't be any RPGs made by LewkOne anytime soon. There is also, I had a first-person shooter maker, which is just as fucking hard, but even worse because it's 3D. I made myself a zombie shooter game, which kind of looked good when I was making it, and then when I would launch the game, like the walls were all way out of line because I didn't notice that they were fucked up, and I shot the zombies and then they were all dead, and then I was like, now what? And it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go and buy, like, fucking a zombie game for $2 on Steam. Fuck this is too hard. So I didn't play anything worth playing, or make anything worth playing on that one. That's it. That's my week, I think. Forza 6 actually. I missed that one. I put down a few times. My best time so far is still 2 minutes 17. I haven't managed to beat that one yet, but I need a kick in the ass. I need somebody on my friends list to beat me. Otherwise,
I'll be there in a week. I'll put a better score on your name anyway, on your profile.
Nah, you log in. You put it under whatever your.
Oh, Feral Red.
Yeah, put it under Feral Red, man. You can log in and you can have your go and see if you can beat my time.
Because I definitely want to have a race or 6 on that when I come up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll get Nico. He'll bring another controller down and we can split screen it.
Oh yeah.
Nice one. All right. Well, I think that's about it. I don't have much more to say on that. Just a quick note because we don't have it in our news. For anyone in the what do you call it? The Xbox preview program, they're rolling out the new update now, which you can opt out for. Be warned, because it's not just early access. They're literally testing it on you. They've even come out and said, shit's not going to work if you download this. Some games won't work. Forza 6 will work, but will have visual issues. And some apps and games just won't work because it's fucking broken. They're going to be fixing it slowly, or very quickly, I should say, with about 2 updates per week. But if the Xbox One is your main console, don't do it. You can. It gives you forewarning in a message, and it will automatically opt you out unless you change it to opt in. So I stress that if it's your only console, don't do it because it'll ruin things. And the only way, if you do update it, the only way to get it back to normal is if you do a full system up. What do you call it? Reboot thing, and that will delete all of your stuff that's on the console. So just be warned, anyone that's part of that program, it will give you forewarning on the console, which is quite good. But yeah, just be. It's not just them saying, "Oh, this might not work properly." It won't. They've stressed that there's shit that doesn't work. So
is there any incentive?
You get. Oh, it's kind of like whose line is it anyway? You get points that don't really matter. And you get those points by doing surveys and reporting stuff, which is, it's weird that the score doesn't matter, but there's like a leaderboard. And the other day I saw that leaderboard for the first time and just went nuts earning score just so I could get up a bit higher for nothing, for no reason.
Just go report Thorncliff a heap of times.
Yeah, yeah, I'll do that because I haven't done that already.
He can do that as much as he likes because my home console is his console that he's using, so...
God damn it. Alright, that's it for Game Talk. Let's move into this week's news. Alright, first up in the news, Project Morpheus is now called PlayStation VR, so it's got a name. So we did report on this earlier in the week on the Facebook page. So essentially Project Morpheus was just a like a working title. That's what they call things generally early on when they don't have a name, or if they're trying to just hide what they're doing. Because essentially Project Morpheus, what does that mean? It's a black guy with weird glasses without arms
yellow
on
pill
them.
or the blue pill?
That's it. It makes no sense. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's just a name that's thrown up there. So what it's been called now is the PlayStation VR, which is a little bit more understanding because to the unsuspecting, say mum or dad for Christmas, they'll know what it is. They're going to go, oh, what's this PlayStation Morpheus thing? I don't know. You won't be interested in that. PlayStation VR, generally people know what VR stands for, and it's virtual red. And what was that?
Ring.
I thought that was a ring. Probably virtual reality. And I've got some information on what it may cost.
Oh, nice.
It's not good news as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, 400 plus.
Maybe. It may have a final name, which is all well and good. The price is still in the air. It's not actually set as yet. But Sony executive Andrew House has stated that the PlayStation VR will be priced as, and this is a quote, a new gaming platform.
Oh, what?
Opinions, please.
Wow.
There's a very good chance that this is going to be priced very similarly to the PlayStation 4 itself, which I understand, and I think I even called it back when we heard about it. I understand it. It's got TV screens inside it. It's got a whole shitload of tech. It's just... I think it's one of those things that needs to be subsidised. If you're going to sell the software for it, you're going to have to get the hardware into people's houses. It's not going to get into people's houses at $500. Because I know I wouldn't.
Fuck no.
Because it's too expensive, and I'm too scared that it's going to be a passing phase, a gimmick, like Kinect.
Yeah, well.
Like Kinect, when Kinect came out, that was $200. It was about $200. But that, I mean, $200 isn't so bad for something to test out like that, which is known as a bit of high tech. But $500, which is the cost of a console, I don't know.
Hell no.
And that's the thing, like $200 for the Kinect back then, and it really didn't have all that much on it except for like Kinect Adventures and like Kinectimals, which wasn't really.
Well, we were essentially
much.
buying
Zumba.
a promise. We promise you this is going to be cool. And that didn't play well. And I think, as much as that's not Sony's fault, I think that will make it hard for Sony because of the failure, the general idea that the Kinect hasn't done so well, the failure of the Kinect. So, I don't know how that's going to work for them.
Do you think it's too soon? The whole VR concept?
Well, I don't know. I mean, and I don't know that because I've never tried a virtual reality headset on. I've only ever seen YouTube videos that don't do any justice. So I don't know how impressive it is or isn't. Now, let's just say that it's soon. It's not... Sorry. Let's just assume for a moment that the timing's right, and they've got the tech right, and it works brilliant, and it's fantastic. I just don't know if it's worth $500, if that's what it's going to be. I don't think it's worth a console.
Hell no. Or 9 games.
Yeah, unless it comes with 9 very good games. But we all know that it's going to release, and it's going to have like 3 titles, and they're probably 2 of them are going to be gimmicky,
Tech demos.
just tech demos. Yeah, man. Like, if they bring out a game that will actually make me want to use something like the VR,
Like No Man's Sky or something like that.
but even then, like, you can play that
I'm
without
afraid
it.
I'd sit there and I'd get a massive headache from it.
Yeah, vertigo and fucking nausea.
I generally get headaches from wearing hats for a long time. Like, just the pressure on your head. Like, it's not... Obviously, I don't wear my hat super duper tight, but just it being there generally is enough. So wearing a gaming headset is... I like not a gaming headset, sorry, a VR headset. It's going to have
With weight, yeah.
extra weight on your head, pressure on your head, your neck as well, and not to mention how long's the battery going to last anyway. Like, are you going to play? You're going to play the first couple of hours of a game and then revert to just using your TV when the battery goes flat, or have it plugged in and not be able to move, or like it just. I think that they really need to heavily subsidise the pricing of the PlayStation VR to make it viable. $250, and I would definitely entertain it.
And $600 games.
Yeah, no, can't work that way. But yeah, just
Well, that's the thing, like, does it physically cost the company that's making it? Will it be physically costing them near on that amount of money to be able to produce something like that?
No way.
Then this is the big thing that I always look at when you're selling a product. Do you want to sell 1 million of them, or do you want to sell 100,000 of them?
100,000 of them at 40%, or 1 million of them at 15%.
That's exactly right.
yeah, but don't discount the fact that these like consoles that we're buying probably do cost in the vicinity of their retail price. That's generally how their marketing works. The Xbox 360 sold at a loss for the first X amount of months or years or whatever of its life. They do. That's generally the idea. They'll sell the consoles at a loss and make up the ground on software.
The first parties,
Yeah. So if it does come out at around $400 to $500, I dare say that's probably as cheap as it'll be for a little while until they can get the components cheaper in it and start removing bits and pieces that people don't use.
Yeah. I think I'd wait for like a second or third generation of the headset.
Yeah, and that's probably a good idea to do, but because it's not set in stone what the price will be, but if the pricing's too high, there might not even be a second iteration because it might not work, might not sell. I think they really need, for PR, I think advertising needs to go nuts and get these things in the hands of people. Whether they start doing a whole shitload of little things like...
shopping centre.
Yeah, that's it. Like I was going to say, like, they might set up a stall in the shopping centre. So come and try
Street Mall and people walking past. Come have a go at this.
Come and have a go, and you'll go in a competition to win one and stuff like that. Get people to try it, because I've never used one. I haven't used Oculus. I haven't used the Morpheus when it was announced and things like that. I haven't used one. So I've got no idea. I mean, it could be fantastic, and I might use it and go, yep, $500 is fine. I'll pay that. Who knows? I don't know. It might blow me away. Like, let's say, for example, if I was playing on my PlayStation 1 and somebody gave me a PS4 and Metal Gear Solid 5 and said, try that, I'd have paid $2,000 for the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So how do I know that the PlayStation VR isn't something that's so advanced that I'm not even comprehending how good it could be? They need to get it on people's heads. Like when you're selling a car, get them in the car and get them to drive it. They need to do that for the headset. That's what they need for PlayStation VR. Get people to try it. Anyway. Alright, I think we've chatted on that. That was a really good topic for the news.
Is there any window for release on that?
No. No. It's next year. It's early. Probably the first half of next year is probably the most I've got, but an actual quarter or something, I don't know. Right, let's move on to the next news. So, Red, give us your news on Resident Evil.
Rightio, have you guys heard of the new Resident Evil game coming out early 2016 to PC and PS4?
Is it new or a remake?
No, new.
No.
It's called Resident Evil Umbrella Corps.
No, I've not heard anything about that.
A first-person shooter?
First-person shooter, arena-style multiplayer only.
Oh, so not on rails?
No, not on right. No, not at all. It's just going to be a Call of Duty.
Oh, a bit like Left 4 Dead or something.
Kind of. It's going to be a arena style shooter, so just a team deathmatch and stuff like that, and search and destroy. And basically, the story goes along. You're mercenaries.
Right.
And you've got, yeah, I know, I cringed too, so that's why I'm bringing it to the...
It sounds like a free-to-play game.
Yeah, well, it's going to be $30 American, if that helps. Everyone's got like a zombie jammer on their back, so the zombies are still hanging around within the level, but they won't necessarily attack you. But you can get up behind someone, take their jammer off, or shoot their jammer from a distance and have the zombies attack them and everything. But yeah, it's going to be a first-person arena multiplayer game.
Oh, well, I mean, the idea of it sounded cringeworthy, but what you just explained sounded alright.
Yeah, well, if it's $30, what we'll be looking around either between 49 and 69. I'd try it for 30. You know, I've seen the trailer. I'll put that up. I'll put the news item up actually, so you can actually have a look at the trailer itself. But yeah, looks different, but it doesn't feel Resident Evil, except for the fact it's got zombies in there and it's called Umbrella Corp.
Yeah. No, well, time will tell, I guess. When did you say when that's coming?
Early 2016.
Early 2016. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll make sure we have a look at that when that's a bit closer or when it releases. Sounds cool.
Absolutely.
That's it for that one, man?
It is, dude, yep.
Alright, Sean, tell us about some free shit in Drive Club.
Free shit in Drive Club. So Evolution Studios has announced that Drive Club owners can look forward to, if we can say that, I don't know, yeah, sprint mode tracks for free every week until Christmas. So Nilgiri Hills in India and Tapaka in Chile are available to download now for free, and yeah, they've got a massive update coming out this month, and it'll be custom multiplayer lobbies and yeah, same stuff like that when it comes out. So yeah,
nice.
New free tracks coming. They've actually said as well that Drive Club has now sold over 2 million copies. That was even before the PS Plus edition came out. So even though there was the big shit fight with all the stuff that happened when Drive Club did come out, 2 million is still a decent number to post.
Can I justify that? In my opinion,
there's nothing else on.
There's nothing else, no other racing games for the first 18 months other than The Crew, which wasn't a track racer.
Oh,
and you had that Need for Speed Rivals, which was just a port from the PS3.
Yeah, and that was a bad game as well.
Yeah, look, but it's not a bad game. Absolutely, and it's well known, obviously, but the worst part about it is the servers, because I played the game and did a few of the time trials, and I absolutely loved how it was a nice, neat fit halfway between arcade and sim, and I really liked it, but when I tried to race against you, Red, it was broken.
Yeah, it was fucked, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was a couple of months ago now, so we should give it another try maybe so we can race each other. Or you should get an Xbox and Forza 6. Whatever.
I'd prefer an Xbox or Project Cars.
So if anybody's listening and wants to provide Red with an Xbox, the address is PO Box 130 Cranebrook 2749. Seriously, if you're rich, like we aren't, just
needs one. Sorry, it's not that shallow.
Yeah, so send to us and we'll get it down to Red. That's not going to happen.
this week, so I can pick it up while I'm there.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It will save me on postage anyway. Nice. Alright, Sean, is that it for that one?
Yep, that's it.
Alright, Konami is pulling up stumps and saying, fuck this, I'm going home. So, multiple sites are reporting that Konami has made the decision to move away from AAA game development almost entirely. The company has alleged that it has no plans to pursue Metal Gear or Silent Hills, which marks a change from their recent public statements, where they've claimed that they will continue to make those games. But who knows? Eurogamer was able to confirm GameBlog's report, and both indicate that except for Pro Evolution Soccer, AAA development is winding down at Konami. Does that upset you, Red?
Not at all.
What about you, Sean?
It'll be good because in the end, when these big companies do start winding up or going to a receivership or or anything like that, they start to sell off IPs.
Yeah, but so it's exactly
So,
my point.
you know what? Hideo Kojima could end up starting his own company, doing all this kind of stuff and buying his IP back.
Don't get me wrong, Konami's not shutting their doors. They're
No,
not,
but the thing is, if they're going to stop those things, they'll unload the IPs.
Yeah, they'll need the money.
Well, they probably
need some
will,
for
'cause
remuneration.
what they're essentially the rumours that are going around is that Konami are going to focus more on their mobile gaming platforms, which, yeah, whatever, good for them. But yes, I do hope that, well, look, Kojima has his own company. He's got Kojima Productions, but maybe he might open a publishing company and start publishing his own stuff. And if he can buy Metal Gear, because I'd assume that Konami.
So he
owns
doesn't
Metal Gear.
actually own the Metal Gear
No,
IP,
I
I'm guessing.
don't believe so. Konami does, but he could probably buy it back and continue making it. But look, even if, because with Metal Gear Solid 5, I believe the story's finished. There's enough told there. If Kojima put his mind to a spin-off, not a spin-off, I shouldn't say, but another IP, brand new IP, in the themes that Kojima makes, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be awesome.
Anything that he puts his name to.
Essentially, it is. He's got the Midas touch. So I'm not terribly fussed there, but hopefully somebody else does get a hold of Metal Gear and Silent Hill, because they're very good very good franchises and deserve to continue. But other than Metal Gear, Pro Evolution Soccer, and Silent Hill, like, they're only really known for games like Contra, Castlevania, and Frogger. They're not a big powerhouse like, you know, Ubisoft or Activision or anything like that. They're not really going to be sorely missed, and you'll probably get Contra, Castlevania, and Frogger on your smartphone anyway, so they'll still be alive. Nobody will be upset. But that's what's going on. That is just heavy rumours that partially have been confirmed and things like that. So that may not be the case. They may already be in development of Metal Gear Solid 6. Or
I doubt it. How could you follow up without Hideo, in all honesty?
well, they probably wouldn't make Metal Gear Solid 6, but they might make something like Metal Gear Solid fucking something else,
Vita.
some weird cross
Vita.
thing. Well, they might do another Metal Gear Rising, and we all know how great that was.
Or a turn-based one, like the bloody Ghost Recon Vita versions.
Hey, how about Metal Gear Solid
Dick.
Silent Hills?
Yeah, well.
So you can sneak around in a box while you're getting the shit scared out of you.
What was the one I said last time? Metal Gear New York with the Solid Snake Plissken.
Yeah, well.
Nice. Yeah, that'd work. Actually, he was known as Pliskin in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yep.
That was, he came back and he was supposedly dead. Snake was supposedly dead, and he came back and looked exactly like Snake, but he called himself Pliskin. I'm like, I know who you are.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt
Yeah.
Russell, you cannot fool me.
Well, that's it for that one. Red, tell us about
Yes.
Rocket League, man.
The latest DLC for Rocket League, known as, what are they calling it? It's Revenge of the Battle Cars. So basically it's an homage to their original forgotten title.
Yeah.
And it'll be out, I think, first or second week of October, and I reckon we're looking at about the same $5.95 price mark here in Australia. It comes with 2 new cars, or 2 classic cars, which are new. The Scarab and the Zippy, 12 new decals, 3 new paint jobs, a couple more wheels, new rocket boosts and toppers, antennas, and 5 new trophies. So basically everything that they're in, everything that you can use to customise your car, that's what they're just going to keep throwing at us with DLC. And I'm like, oh well, bring it on. They've probably got one more bit of DLC in me before I probably just pull up stumps and just use what I have, because I still do enjoy it. But yeah, but alongside the paid DLC, there are also talks of new free DLC, being a new map or 2. So that's having to be free, of course, because it comes with a download and doesn't do a Destiny on you.
That Scarab looks awesome.
It does, doesn't it? It fucking does look sick with the suspension wheels and shit like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in. Again.
Yeah, I probably will. Even though I don't play it very much these days, I want that car.
Yep. So yeah, that's about it. So DLC for Rocket League. I think everyone's in.
Yep, awesome. Thanks, buddy. Sean, your secret news?
My secret news, well, I actually told you, but you just...
Yeah, I know, but I didn't write it down, as I said.
Yeah.
That's your fault that I didn't write it down.
Mod creation tools set to release in early 2016 for Fallout 4.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
cool.
So, according to one of the blokes from Bethesda, he's said that the tools will arrive first on the PC in early 2016, and then will be ported across the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Oh, so PS4 is getting it.
There's no release window as yet for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One ones, because they just really don't know how it's going to work as yet. So, yeah, they are working hard, and it'll be very interesting. Are you still going to get it on the Xbox One, Luke? Or?
Well, I don't know, because if it's going to have that cool stuff on the PS4, then I've got a question to ask. What console do I think I'd prefer it on?
Yeah, you'd prefer to play it at 900p, wouldn't you?
Yes. Is it going to have different specs like that?
Probably. Because we all know how the parody thing went down with Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's on par, then I'd probably go PS4.
It saves having two consoles on in order to be able to chat. That's if you still want to talk to us then.
Yeah, that's true. that's the way it works, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it a bit later on, I guess, when it comes time to, what is it, November coming out?
Yeah, November
Yeah,
10th.
November 10. I can. I have to.
Smart
We've got
ass.
some cool stuff coming out before then. So
Have we?
Yeah, what do we
yeah,
got?
Halo
Duty.
5 Guardians.
You're only saying that because you don't have an Xbox, you douchebag. What about...
Rise of the Tomb Raider
Yeah.
comes out on the 10th, on the same day as
Oh,
that.
on the same day, is it?
Yeah, then the next week I think it's Battlefront comes out. The Call of Duty will be out before then. Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yeah, so...
It doesn't sound like I'm getting Fallout.
Fuck off.
Of that list, Fallout falls flat on its ass. I'm sorry, but I would much prefer to play Rise of the Tomb Raider and Battlefront than Fallout. And Fallout happens to fall in the middle of all that shit, so I think it's going to miss out.
I get Battlefront by default because I bought it for my son for Christmas.
Yeah, well, Red, you can review Fallout.
But when I look at it, I'm going, you know what? It's Halo 5 Guardians. I think that's around the 27th of October. Then straight into Call of Duty, which will be like the 3rd or 4th of November, which is going to be really good for like the multiplayer and all that kind of stuff we're playing with everybody. And then 10th, Rise of the Tomb Raider, hands down.
Yeah, see, I'll be getting... I don't know about Halo. Halo will be a late purchase for me. It won't be a day one. Unless Microsoft can come to the party. That would be lovely. But yeah, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Call of Duty, and Battlefront is on my radar. Fallout can wait till a lull next year, I think.
Fucking hell, listen to these cunts.
That's all right. I reckon
I'll be finished.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
just
what,
finished the
seriously,
tutorial.
That's what I was going to say. I reckon by the time I get around to starting it next year, I'll probably only be, probably a couple of hours behind you in story.
Yeah, probably.
After your...
That's right. I'll only be just starting to find out what the fuck's going on by the time you've finished Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. When I sit there and I look at it and I go, you know, we got Witcher at the start of the year, and that was just so big. I just really lost interest in it. Completely lost interest.
You didn't finish Ground Zeroes. It was 20 minutes. You were never going to finish The Witcher.
Look, I haven't finished The Witcher either, and I said to Luke last night, he keeps bagging me out, I'm just going to fucking do it, not for The Witcher, but for shut him up.
Have you finished it yet?
No, I haven't finished it, but I do believe that I got my money's worth out of it, and I've enjoyed every second of it, and I can go back to it.
Because you have threatened to finish it quite a few times now, but it hasn't happened.
Oh, as soon as I get it back, I probably fucking will.
See, he doesn't even have it. He doesn't even like the game, Sean.
No.
He's just in
All
denial.
about that.
He said, you know when you go and buy a car and you've spent $40,000 on it and you get it home and you realise that the cup holders are too small, but you don't mention that to anyone because you don't want to be embarrassed that the thing that you've just invested a whole fuckload of money / time into, you don't want to admit to them that it's shit.
There's something wrong with it.
I think that's what Red's going through now.
And then you lend your car to like Weeksy and
He buys you a
let
new
him have
one.
it for 6 months.
Oh, yeah. So, Red, I think you're in denial.
Oh, fuck off, I'm in denial.
Is it in your top 5 of games that you've played so far this year?
Everything that he's played is in his top 5. Everything's game of the year.
That's another
Everything's been game of the year.
Until Dawn, Phantom Pain,
Dying Light.
yeah, definitely Dying Light. That was earlier this year, wasn't it? Yeah, it's probably going to have to be, actually.
Yeah, to keep Luke quiet.
Oh, fuck off! Well, what, Mad Max? I've played enough Mad Max in order to be able to put that in the top anything. Just looking at what I've got. Bastion. It might make the top 5. If it was top 5 AAA games, yes. But top 5 games, it probably won't actually make it there.
Top 5 games that take too long to finish.
Yeah, sounds like a good
Lego
segment.
Jurassic World, that's up there.
You see, I haven't played that yet.
Batman, come on, like...
Oh, that's definitely there. Fuck, I wish I could wipe my memory and go back and play that.
Righto. Alright, that'll do for that one, I think. That's the end of our news segment, so let's go into What's That Sound?
I think it's time we stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Alright, last week in What's That Sound, I think you guys got it. No, I think, Sean, you shouldn't be here, should you? You got it wrong, and I told you you're going to get sacked.
Slightly muffed it.
Oh well.
Short
I'll give you
turnaround between podcasts.
Yeah, that's it. I'll give you another chance, man. But this was last week's sound. And that was, of course, the Metal Gear Solid codec from the original series. So, as Red said,
I'd say it was the iDroid.
No, it's
kind
not.
of the same.
It's not the iDroid. The iDroid doesn't make that sound. And
Does he have the iDroid in the original one?
No. No,
it's
So it's kind of the same thing, though.
Yeah, it's his communication device.
It's a communication device, but it's not the iDroid.
So if I said it was the communication device, would it be right?
Well, it's not the name. I'd want the name. I'd say, what is it?
It's the 3310.
Yes, it is. That's exactly what it is. No, but different characters. Big Boss had the iDroid, which essentially was a big cassette player. And as the time wore on, Metal Gear Solid had Solid Snake, who's Big Boss's son, who's obviously younger and more hip and happening with better technology, had the codec that was implanted into his ear. So he didn't have to hold the big-ass tank mobile phone device thing. That's what the codec was. It was in his ear. And that would go, bloop, bloop, and he would answer. This is Snake. Hi, Snake. You don't forget to save your game.
Snake!
I've heard that enough. Boss!
That's what I call out when I went to take a piss when I was down the snow. Snake! No! It was gone. All right, so that was last week's sound. So you just want to hear this week's sound and see how you go. I can't remember what it is though. I don't know if it's easy or hard. I'll remember obviously once I hit play. But this is what this week's sound.
Wait, give me a second. I'm just opening up the YouTube account to.
Oh, go ahead.
The history.
Go ahead. I am well above that one now. So have a listen.
Oh, fucking hell.
Holy fuck, what was that?
That was sensory. That was very, very nice. Go again.
Well, Sean's already got it. I don't know if you heard him, but don't say anything. Anyway, so let's have another listen.
You know, I think I've got it.
Yeah, I know you know what it is. But if anyone at home thinks they know what that sound is, then send us a message to our Facebook page. And if you're correct, you'll get a free game. All right, well, I think we're powering along, making good time. What do you actually think that sound is? Like, not what it really is, but how do you think they made that sound? This will be a hint, a clue for the listeners.
The Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park played backwards.
It sounds a bit like a dinosaur, doesn't it? Do you know what that actually is? They've used
and an elephant mixed together or something.
Yeah, there's an elephant in there. Absolutely, yeah. I think it's I'm not sure if it was an elephant in distress or one on the job. It could be either or. Red, you know what that sounds like?
Elephant, yeah. Can you imagine being fucked by an elephant? I'd be in distress too.
I reckon. Is their junk the same as their trunk? Anyway, I think I've made it.
Attacked by a lion, and he kind of went, "Oh, I don't know if I should stop or just let the lion go for it."
All right. Well, I'm essentially made a meal of keeping the What's That Sound a secret this week, so I'm over it. So let's go into Gaming University. Alright, so this week in Gaming University is none other than the Dead Space series, which I really think I've got some really cool stuff here about Dead Space. Now, my interest in researching Dead Space kicked off last week when I mentioned about how they researched the necromorphs and what they look like by looking at car crash victims, which is pretty hard hitting, because you imagine like maybe the head of art or whatever saying, okay, all my designer people, have a look at these photos, and the staff going, what the fuck. Imagine what do you call it, the psych doctor would be probably going mental seeing all these people.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
The workers' comp would go through the roof.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Unless it was just the designer himself took it upon himself to do it. But that's pretty full on. That's above and beyond the Call of Duty, I think. And I thought that was pretty neat. So that kicked off my interest in this, and I think I've amassed about 6 points here that were pretty interesting about the Dead Space series. So have a listen to these ones. All right, so let's get schooled, guys. The original Dead Space was meant to be on the Xbox. So not the Xbox 360, the Xbox. So development was completed in 2005, but as you may know, the Xbox 360 was released in 2006. But when Microsoft was about to pop for the Xbox 360, they decided to halt everything. So the game was done. It was complete, ready to release on the Xbox, but they thought, you know what we'll do is we'll hold it off. They continued development through to 2008, so 2 years after the release of the 360. So these guys would have been hungry for money to release this game and bring it in by then, I'd imagine. So in 2008, it was finally released on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. So that's an example of a game being delayed, not because it wasn't ready, but because it was ready, and they didn't want to miss out on the new life cycle. Probably a good move, actually.
Oh, great move.
Yeah, so that's it was also released on PC as well, but I guess that doesn't really have generations. So moving on to number 2, Isaac's voice. So the first Dead Space game introduced the main character to us as Isaac Clarke, but he had one particular quirk. He never spoke at all. There was no dialogue for the main character in the first game at all, and it's widely believed that Visceral Games, who developed Dead Space, did so to create a certain feel in the game, because it was quiet. There was no sort of explanation of what was going on. There was dialogue in the game, just not from the main character, and it sort of helped the overall horror themes. But when it came to Dead Space 2, Gunnar Wright won the spot to give Isaac Clarke his voice, and Visceral Games then explained that Isaac had no voice in the first game because it made sense, because Isaac had no one to talk to. It was a very lonely game. He wasn't discussing things with people because he was on his own in this fucked up world with aliens. So Dead Space 2, they had a heavier focus on the story, so they gave him a voice to explain how things were going and how he felt, which was pretty cool. All right, moving on to point number 3, the death of a hero. Now, this probably works into the horror themes quite well and explains that it's quite a scary game, but the Dead Space series has some very gory ways to kill Isaac, which would probably make Tomb Raider's efforts look like child's play. Each necromorph had its very own unique way to kill Isaac. So it wasn't repeated for different necromorphs. So in the whole series, there is well over 100 different ways that Isaac can be killed.
Wow.
That's pretty unique. So over 100 unique animations on how he gets his killed. The general consensus among all of those death scenes begins with him getting his head either ripped off or cut off. But they're all different in their own unique way, which is pretty impressive for a development team to push that and have that many different death animations. Probably because they know that you're going to be dying a shitload, so they didn't want it to get boring. I'd imagine. Yeah, so good job there. Next one, point number 4, though, I'd like to school you in. The main character's name is, of course, were you listening?
Yes.
And what was the main character's name, Red?
I was waiting for Sean to jump in.
Oh.
So Red doesn't know you're on detention. Sean?
Isaac. Yeah.
Isaac. And his last name is?
Oh, I don't know what his last name is.
Space.
Space. Red, for being a smart ass, you're staying back after class, alright? And you're going to write on the board, LewkOne is a legend and I'm a douchebag. So the real name is Isaac Clarke. And it was chosen to pay homage, or homage, depending whether you're Weeksy or everybody else in the world. They're paying an homage to the highly influential science fiction actors Isaac Asimov from iRobot and Arthur C. Clarke from 2001 Space Odyssey. They're the authors for those two stories there. So Isaac Asimov and Arthur C. Clarke, Isaac Clarke. That was the homage there. So that was pretty cool. That's where the main character got his name from.
That's wicked.
Yes. So I've got I've got 2 more points to cover here, and they're getting really cool. Like, listen to these ones. Bits and pieces. Isaac's helmet in the second game is composed of 40 different pieces. And if you look closely, you actually be able to see 2 really tiny little robotic arms when he retracts the helmet. The robotic arms actually pull the helmet apart and disassemble it, and it folds into the suit that he's wearing. As cool as that.
Very interesting.
I want to play Dead Space now.
Yeah, and they actually, this isn't one of my points here, but it's something that I'm aware of. The developers actually went into the character bios so much that Isaac's weight wearing the normal suit was 88 kilos, and when he puts on the big epic like welding suit, he was 115 kilos. So that's how much weight that he was carrying around in that suit. And you know that because in the game there are several parts where you're walking onto a set of scales. I don't know that. I've only read that part about the actual scales showing the 2 different weights in the 2 different scenes. But if that is correct, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
dedicated. Well, a lot of the devil's in the detail with this game.
Yeah, it is. And the last one here blew me away when I saw it, and I thought, how do you do that? It's not really going to make sense until I tell you, but let's go on to number 6, and we'll discuss it after you know what I'm talking about. Now, first up, this is a spoiler alert for Dead Space 1, so if you don't want anything spoiled, because it's going to be pretty heavy in spoiler territory here for Dead Space 1, then either tune out for a while or suck it up, Princess. The game's really old, 2008 it came out. So in Dead Space 1, if you take the first letter from the name of every chapter, they form the words Nicole is dead. Now, I won't elaborate on that too much, but you could probably guess that Nicole's a pretty important character in the game. she's already dead. That's spelt out in the name. I don't have handy the name of the levels, but the first level obviously starts with the letter N, and then the second one's an I, C-O-L-E, I-S-D-E-A-D, spells out Nicole is dead. And the last letter in each word, so Nicole, the last letter is E, that level has a boss fight. The word is, the level with that starts with S, has a boss fight, and obviously the last level, which is the end of dead, has the D, and that one has a boss fight as well. How cool is that?
Fuck yeah.
Like, just, that's not necessary, but it's there for the massive, in-depth fans to work out themselves. That's amazing. I'm totally blown away with that. I've never played Dead Space 1.
I don't think I have either.
Sorry, incorrect. I have played it. I haven't finished it. I've got it on PC. I really should play it. Maybe they can bring that...
That's only single player, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah, the co-op only came out in 3, I think. So that's all I've got. But like, I really thought that they were really cool facts that the Dead Space Visceral Games has put into their Dead Space series. I really would love for a new PS4, Xbox One adaptation of a new, not a port, mind you, a new game. Whether it's Dead Space 4 or another spin-off or something like that, I'd love a Dead Space
in the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something I'd like to see back again. So that's Gaming University. So I'm glad you guys were paying attention. What's the name of the main character?
Isaac Clarke.
Well done. Still staying back after class.
Red.
Cool.
Sean, you can go. You can go though. You don't have to stick around. Just I rethought what I was about to say. Disregard. Let's move on to this week's shout.
All right, this week in Shout, it's given me very few days to try and pick out some people that really stood out. So I've got 4 for you this week. I've got Ben Ross. We were only talking about a few things amongst ourselves via Messenger here the other day, and Ben Ross has used the messenger on the page as a medium in a way to ask a question, and then I think have somewhat of a educated debate with you, Luke, last night I've seen.
Yep.
And that's what it's there for. You come along, have your opinion, and that's brilliant.
Yeah, Ben asked why isn't there a good pirate RPG, open world sort of AAA style game? And I replied back saying to him, well, look, I don't know too much about it, but I think there is. If you have a look at the game Risen 2, and yeah, it sort of branched off into other discussions as well. And you're right, Red, that's what it's there for. I appreciate it when people engage us, ask us a question, have a chat with us. If you've got any sort of medium available to you, whether it be a message on the page, add us on the PlayStation and have a chat to us while we're playing games, I'm happy for any of that. Branch out, talk to us, we're good guys. I think so anyway.
Ross marking his 40k knowledge, his Warhammer 40k knowledge in response to your post yesterday, Luke?
Yeah, to be brutally honest, he obviously knows more about it than I do. I can't remember what any of them are called. That was 15 years ago that I played with those.
The Warhammer dolls.
Yeah, the Warhammer dolls. I painted them and enjoyed them, but I can't remember what they're called. I know some of them are like the
Space Marines.
Space Marine Scouts are the ones that I've got without helmets. But I can't remember the other ones, so he knows quite well. Good on you, Ross. Champion.
Mark J. Travis was able to point out that it was a creative TV coder.
Yes. Good
Fuck
on you,
knows
Mark.
how.
Yeah, I do. It blew me away.
Smart bloke, that one.
Yeah. He is a good bloke. Thanks, Mark. Good job.
And one of our own, Nick, and bringing us the Destiny dances.
Oh, yeah.
That was fucking hilarious. It's not since, I think, Call of Duty, Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 2 had I seen a multiplayer game like that where they've got in there and choreographed a dance.
Yeah, but just like the internet likes to point out all the time, repost.
Ah, yes, it was repost, but he bought it to us anyway. I would never have seen it otherwise, because I really don't go looking for anything Destiny.
Yeah, no, I posted that probably best parts of maybe about 12 months ago.
Oh, fuck, really? Well, there you go. I didn't even know it then. But yeah, that's shout for this week.
Good job, man. Love your work. All right, well, I think we're ready to close up the show.
Yes, we are. And now that we're at the end of this week's show, please take the time to like us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/AussieGamers2012, or search Aussie Gamers Express up in the little search bar. You can also search Aussie Gamers Express on YouTube, where you'll get our access to our free video vault. Everything up there. The podcast is there. Some great videos go up every week. www.aussiegamersexpress.com is where you'll find all our latest news, reviews, and thought pieces and all that kind of stuff. Twittering is your thing. If Twittering is your thing, not Twittering is your thing, because that's an assumption. Follow at AussieGamers12 and you'll have all of our tweets and all that kind of stuff on there. Twitch, Aussie Gamers TV at twitch.tv is where you can find some of our gaming and raging sessions. iTunes, Stitcher and TuneIn Radio are the best apps to use to download this podcast to the device of your choice. Just search Aussie Gamers Express on there. And PO Box 130, Cranebrook, New South Wales 27449 is where you can send all your snail mail and stuff across.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you guys something. What episode are we up to?
96.
96, guys. We are getting really close to 100. What are we going to do for episode 100? Can we give something away that's big?
We can't give bread away.
What about your pile of shame?
My pile of shame.
How does one extract their own ego?
Syringe. We're going to have to discuss this. I want to do something big for episode 100.
I won't have sex with your mum after a teabag you on Black Ops 3.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, there's not a lot of podcasts that make it past 100, or even get close, mind you, that are like us. I mean, we know IGN, we know, all that sort of stuff. But so just the small, do-it-yourself, what would you call us? Like private thingies, self-funded, whatever you want to call it. Gaming media outlets like Aussie Gamers Express, a lot of them falter and don't get this far. So, and I think we have a lot to thank of our community for being there, sticking
absolutely.
up, sticking with us and cheering us on and all that sort of stuff. So that's why we're still here. So, episode 96 is complete, and we're only around the corner for 100. So. Looking forward.
And it's probably common belief that we're always best friends too. So it's through the face of a fair bit of adversity that we've made it this far, not just with podcasts, but Paige also. And that's due to your leadership and everyone's understanding that we're individuals. And so that's
he's
also
the boss, and we do it his way.
Yeah, that's right.
But his way's worked for 96 episodes, so I'm down with that.
But yeah,
look, because I'm an arsehole.
We hate each other. We are friends, but fuck, we rag on each other hard, don't we? Well,
I get told I'm not allowed to do something. I get premenstrual.
Yes, you do. And I crack the shit sometimes, don't I?
But it's all for the love. That's the thing. If there wasn't any passion, there wouldn't be any pride. And if there wasn't any pride, there wouldn't be a good production. So
that's it. All right.
And if we all agreed on everything, it'd be fucking boring.
Yeah,
yes, Destiny is cool.
Well, that's it. I think that's the fun part, isn't it, when we argue?
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah. But before we do close the show, you were talking about that RPG maker that you got from bundlestars.com.
Yeah.
I've just had a look at that website. People, if you're listening and you like cheap Steam games, get across there. I'm just having a look at it now. You can get 10, 15 games for $3. Just bloody Carmageddon and... wicked.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. Like
I've never heard of this website before. Oh, the other day when you were telling me about it, but I looked it up today because I was sitting in front of a computer.
There's the flying bundle, but that only has a bundle like every now and then. So that's not always there. But there's flyingbundle.com. There's Bundle Stars. There's another
Humble
one.
Bundle's got the Total War collection at the moment.
There's indiegala.com. There's indieroyal.com. They're all the same sort of thing. So check those out.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
The debut. This is I'm looking at Indie Royale
Might pull
now.
that right in my basket.
Jesus Christ.
What's that one? Indie Royale. I'll look up Indie Gala because there's nothing really great on that one. Indie Gala. It's loading. Friday Special Bundle. Still loading.
Let's face it, it's Friday somewhere.
Still loading.
You get Mad Max for $29.99.
And it's still loading. Let's not worry about that one. But yeah, there's heaps. Just hit Google and just write in bundles. Indie bundles or something like that. Here we go. It's loaded now. And that's got Job the Leprechaun. Right. That looks great. Runes.
There's a Retro Legends bundle on Bundle Stars at the moment. It's got Carmageddon 2 on it.
Yeah, how cool's that? Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year, $14.99. Ah, damn.
National Zombie Park. Yeah,
Far out.
Yeah, there's heaps of them there.
And Steam's got a big Warner Brothers sale on at the moment as well.
Cool. Check that out.
So,
Alright, well, that'll do for this week's show, the end of 96. So I've been LewkOne.
I've been Thorncliff.
I've been Red.
All over like a newspaper.